Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack a really unique document, a first grade Sunday school curriculum. We're going to get an inside look at how an ancient faith is being thoughtfully and pretty cleverly translated for its youngest members in our modern world. Okay, so let's just dive right in with the core problem they're trying to solve. The preface of this curriculum lays it all out. This isn't just some academic exercise. Nope, it's a direct response to what they call a pressing need to make faith relevant for kids growing up in the lands of immigration, a world away from where the faith's culture began. So to see how they tackle this, we're going to follow their blueprint. We'll start with why they had to reimagine the whole thing, then explore how they go about teaching a 6-year-old. From there, we'll get into the what, the stories and the virtues, and finally, we'll uncover the ultimate goal, planting seeds for a lifetime of faith.
So, let's start with the why. The whole reason this project even exists is because they needed to bridge a pretty significant cultural gap.
The creators knew that just translating a syllabus meant for kids in Egypt just wasn't going to cut it. The old syllabus, you see, was totally rooted in Egyptian society, but the new one, it's been intentionally modified for children growing up in America. It actually thinks about the realities of Western life, things like the media they see, the cultural differences. It's a completely different world for a child. And we're not talking about a light touch-up here. The introduction makes it clear they swapped out 28 lessons completely and substituted them with new ones that were way more appropriate and relatable for a kid growing up in the West. This was a major overhaul, not just a minor edit. So how'd they do it? Well, the answer is all about understanding their very specific audience, the 6-year-old. And this is where the art and science of teaching, pedagogy, really comes into play. To really get the how, let's just imagine a student going through this curriculum. We'll call her Esther, a name that fittingly is taken from one of the biblical heroines in the syllabus. So for Esther, this isn't just another class where she hears stories. It's a whole experience, carefully crafted just for her age group. Now, this is what's really fascinating, how deeply they analyze their target student. It's like they've created a psychological profile. They know a 6-year-old is super curious about God, but, they also have a super short attention span. So the curriculum leans into their love for visual aids and animals, and it identifies a key strength, a tremendous memory capacity, which is perfect for learning verses. So based on that profile, the guide gives teachers, who are called servants, a really clear set of instructions. First, don't underestimate the child. Second, and this is a big one, never ever teach without visual aids. Third, let the kids talk and participate. And finally, get the parents involved at home. It's a really holistic approach. And this quote right here, wow, it just brilliantly illustrates a core principle. You adapt the method, but you do not change the message. The guide is explicit, warning teachers not to oversimplify core theology, like changing blood and body to juice and bread. The whole idea is that you're planting seeds. A child might not fully get it now, but they're learning the foundational language of their faith. Okay, so with that framework all set up, what are these first graders actually learning? Well, it's a journey through the foundational stories of their faith. The curriculum basically takes them on a year-long trip that follows the Coptic calendar. As you can see, it kicks off with creation in September, moves through Noah and the Nativity, and then later in the year you meet key figures like David and Queen Esther. Each month kind of builds on the last, creating one big, cohesive story. Let's zoom in on a single lesson to see how this all comes together. Take the October lesson on Noah's Ark. It's not just about a guy, a boat, and a bunch of animals. The real objective here is to show a two-way relationship, Noah's love for God and God's love and care for Noah right back. And remember that rule about never teaching without visuals? Well, they weren't kidding. The guide for this lesson is super specific. It tells teachers to prepare a model of the ark, models of different animals, and even pictures of the raven and the dove. It's all about making the story feel real and tangible for a 6-year-old's mind. Each lesson is also anchored by a simple but really powerful memory verse. This is how they tap into that tremendous memory capacity we talked about earlier. It gives the kids a key piece of scripture to hold on to long after the lesson is over. But it's not all about these grand biblical narratives. A huge chunk of the curriculum is actually dedicated to teaching specific moral virtues. It's basically character building through storytelling. So here's the really crucial point. They make abstract ideas concrete. How do you teach obedience? Well, you tell the story of a saint who watered a dry stick for years just because he was told to. How do you teach forgiveness? You use the story of a man, Ibrahim el-Ghahari, who gave gifts to people who insulted him. These stories of saints become practical case studies in how to live a virtuous life. And in fact, a lot of what they call filler lessons, the ones they use during flexible times in the church calendar, are designed explicitly around these character traits. Things like friendship, obedience, forgiveness, sharing. These aren't just afterthoughts, they're a central pillar of the whole curriculum. And that brings us to the ultimate goal. I mean, after all this careful planning and thoughtful design, what are they hoping to build in these little 6-year-olds? The curriculum itself gives us a really clear definition. This isn't just about downloading information or memorizing facts. The whole point of church education, as they put it, is to foster a relationship, to help a child understand God's care so that they will, in turn, respond with love and obedience. So, when you really put it all together, the big takeaway is this. From the cultural changes to the specific teaching methods and the stories they choose, this entire system is designed to build a foundation. It's about instilling a sense of identity, a sense of belonging, and a personal relationship that, they hope, will last a lifetime. This curriculum offers one really deliberate, really thoughtful answer to that question. It's a fascinating look at where faith, culture, and education all meet. And it kind of leaves you thinking about all the ways we all try to pass on and sometimes reimagine our own traditions in this ever-changing world.